Hey y'all, welcome back to the Hudson Homestead. I'm Michelle. Um, we didn't get I didn't have any marshmallows when I left off with that video from last night. Didn't have marshmallows, so never did do that. But before I end this vlog, this coming weekend, I want to tell you, this coming weekend, hubby and I are going to be making some deer sausage from uh, the deer he shot last Sunday night. Um, and this is our first time doing it, so it might be comical. So I'd love for you to watch. Um, we're empty nesters. We're in our early 50s, and we live out in the country. We purchased a 3-bedroom home on 3 acres. And well, hey y'all, it's Michelle again from the Hudson Homestead. My husband called through. He's on his way home from Hickory. He's an electrician and works out of town. And the company that he works for specializes in, they mainly do assisted livings throughout the state of North Carolina. And so he's been working in Hickory this week. He's on his way home. I'm making egg roll in a bowl for supper. It is so good. And this is Jake. Yeah, I know, you're my baby. He's getting a surgery done tomorrow. I know, but we got to. He's like just wide open. And so he's gonna have his, what's cut off tomorrow. And yeah, so we're in for a treat, I guess, with that. There's Josie. That's Jake and Josie. They love each other. Okay, so I can get long-winded, very detailed. I'm learning. I'm in my early 50s, so you millennials and younger ones have got it. You got it over me. And I don't know if I'll ever have the time, the money to be able to do better videos. I'm going to try to work on my stuttering and ums and all that, so just bear with me. I have a lot to share. I just have to make sure I give it to the Lord and let Him lead and not lead myself, because I want this channel to bring glory and honor to His name. So anyhow, okay, making the egg roll in the bowl. Hubby's on his way home. Youngest son Josh is out in the barn in the back, and he's working on some tables, benches for porches for people. Got a lot of orders that came in, and he does really good quality work. Okay, so that out of the way, this weekend we're going to be, my husband and I are going to be making deer sausage, our first time, and it might be comical, so I'm going to post that video next week, probably Monday, because I'm going to take Monday off. My husband has to, he's got a bulged herniated disc in his lower back. So they're going to be doing what they call an RFA in the area of his lumbar spine and deadening the nerves, because, he's, let's see, I'm going to be 54 next month. He will be 52 next May. So, and he's like, Michelle, I got to work on my tools till I'm probably 70, if not older. And if the Lord tarries. So he's trying to do everything he can to work full time, and he does a great job at providing for us. I'm very proud of him. But quickly, because I only have probably 25 minutes till he's going to be here, I wanted to wrap up this week's video. Oh, join us for the deer sausage video. Next week's video is going to be where hubby and I are making deer sausage for the first time. And I'm going to make a caramel apple dump cake. Lord willing, these are the two things. Unfortunately, we were going to get the grandkids this weekend, but I talked to their mother today, and it's a long story, but we won't be getting the children till, the grandchildren, till probably the first weekend in December. And so just keep my family in your prayers. But I wanted to wrap up real quick. Do y'all remember that picture that I showed you of Jesus on my wall in my office? Well, I found it in the attic. My husband and I moved to our homestead here out in the country, 3-bedroom house that's about the same age as I am. And we purchased it in the summer of 2016. And I had just had a full hysterectomy, so I was going through menopause. And then there was Hurricane Florence, and I was getting burnt out with my job, and just I started having panic attacks, and and depressed. I never knew what depression was, and that's another video. So we moved out here, and we had prayed, said, Lord, we had lost a home back 13 years ago. We weren't living for the Lord. We didn't even give the Lord a second thought, not really. Had no desire to want to read the Bible, His Word. Just didn't go to church. I wasn't a mother that was consistent. We talked about the Lord in the home and said a blessing over the meal, every meal before we ate. But that's as far as our religion went. Didn't have a relationship. And I think the Lord allowed what happened to get us. We lost everything. Another video. Lost our home, lost our jobs, and then we moved to the coast, here to Wilmington. My husband's mother lived here, so we started over here in Wilmington, 13 years ago. Yeah, 13 years ago, this past summer. And it's been a struggle, but we rented for 7 years, had a foreclosure on our credit. We got new jobs that both of us have had for the past 10 and 13 years. And God has been good to us. And when the 7-year mark came, where the foreclosure was going to be off of our credit, we had been saving money. Our landlord had other properties, and so he would, have my husband do some side work for him, and would put that towards our rent. So instead of spending that money, we just left it there and acted like it wasn't there. Somehow my husband does that. He does the finances very well. His father was an accountant or something like that for a concrete service company here in the South. So it was his stepfather, and he had a good knowledge with numbers and finances. So my husband picked up and was influenced by his stepfather, and is very good. And so he handles it. I handled it, and that's not why we lost our home, because I handled the finances. But once we moved here to the coast, I said, honey, you go ahead. I just felt like he's the head of the household. That's just my opinion. Let him do it. And he's good with money. And he researches everything before he purchases it. Just got him a scope for Christmas, and it's just came in the mail. He researched, he's got it. It's like a 1980s type scope. I don't know nothing about weapons and ammunition, and the rifle or the gun that he's got, it's like a 1980s style. I'll have to ask him what it is, and maybe I can remember to mention it. So anyhow, that came in the mail, and that's his Christmas gift. And forgive my voice, I'm just like croaky here lately. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, so we prayed. We had saved up $20,000 to put down on a home. Foreclosure was off, and we started looking. And we found a couple of places, but for whatever reason, it just didn't work out. So my friend, my good friend, Frankie, she started sending me stuff from Zillow and all those other places, and she said we wanted it in a certain place that was about 20 minutes from my job, and we just couldn't find anything that my husband felt at peace about, and I honestly didn't either. So Frankie said, well, can you go out a little further? So I said, Brian, can we go out a little further? And he said, well, you're the ones that got to travel it to go to work. It's up to you. And I said, she said, just about another 10 minutes out towards Burgaw. I said, okay. Brian said, okay. I said, okay. So she did. And the first place she found, we came out here and just looked at it. We had a realtor, but she had sent it to us. So we came out and looked at it. And when we pulled in It was just amazing. Beautiful. Whoever landscaped this property knew you knew she had a passion and a love for flowers. And it shows every single year, because we'll have certain flowers bloom, and then when they die off, she planted something else close by, and you'll see it blooming. So it's like every time we turn around, we see some type of flower blooming throughout the year. Oh my goodness. So we got the house, and we bid it on it, and we got with our realtor. He got with the other realtor, and it was a reverse mortgage. So I'm not very familiar with reverse mortgages, but if you know about them, then okay. So it was a reverse mortgage. I didn't really know much about it, but our realtor said it would take a little, it might take 2 or 3 months. And we just we prayed, felt at peace about it. Well, then when we made the bid, our realtor said there's 2 other people. They don't want any companies taking it over. They want a family or a couple that's going to live there to buy it, to purchase it. And so they want to give another opportunity to do another bid. So, and they'll take the highest bid. So we didn't go up too much because we really didn't have a whole lot. And the house did need a new roof put on, and it needed some update in the painting, and needed new countertops, or we wanted new countertops. So we were going to calculate all that in. So we went ahead and did a second bid, and we outbid the other 2 according to the realtor. So then the process took, place, and I'm like, Lord, did we do the right thing? Did we choose? Is it just because it's got 3 acres and it's out in the country and it's a beautiful scenic drive on my way to work every morning? But we didn't do it just because we wanted to. Lord, I said, show me. I got to know that we are in the center of your will, because if you can see something in the future that we can't see because he sees the bigger picture, I said, you let us know, let it fall through somehow, let it go. I'll rent for the rest. I'll be happy and content. I've had much and I've had little, and I've learned to be content with what I have, like Paul in the Bible. So we moved in, and we were doing the painting and stuff. We hadn't quite moved in because we were getting the painting done during a month, and we had 30 days to get these improvements done, something to do with the loan. So during that 30 days, I went exploring in the attic and found an old pair of pointy shoes from like the 30s or the 40s. They were all shriveled up from the heat in the attic. And then I found an old 60s style pocketbook that had the little snap, and it's, little rectangle size with little arms. Uh-oh, there's my timer going off for my rice. And Hubby's going to be here probably in about 10 to 20 minutes. So, and so I found those in the attic, and then I found that picture of Jesus. Boy, that's bad lighting. I found that picture of Jesus up there, and I was like, when I saw it, I knew it was like a 60s style picture, or that's the way it looked to me. And it had, dust on the glass, and I had to get Windex and clean it. And rice is just about done. I would show you, but real life, full-time worker outside the home, my home is not spotless, and it is a little cluttered, and it's not organized. And right now, my relationship with the Lord is important, and so I've kind of neglected it, but the Lord's dealing with me. I'm from chaos to calm in 75 days, a Bible study that I'm participating in on my own. It's really good. So, but next time I'll show you the video of me making my egg roll in a bowl. So, oh, that is looking good. That is looking really good. Oh, I can't wait. My husband loves it, and yeah, so I'm excited about that. All right, so we'll turn that off, leave the lid on that. Sorry, I know this is getting a little bit long. Okay, so I cleaned up that picture of Jesus, and I took it into work, and I told the story of how I felt like, well, I just had this peace that the people that had lived here before knew the Lord. And so that was like a confirmation to my heart. Well, it gets better than that. Oh, that lighting's terrible. It gets better than that. There was a little convenience store right around 30 minutes from here, right around the corner from where we rented in Wilmington. And I would stop in there every morning just about and, you know, get me something to drink or coffee. And there was a sweet elderly woman. Her name was Miss Joyce. And she worked there, and she started there. And I mean, for 4 or 5 years, I'd see her every other morning, if not every morning. And you know, she was having a knee replacement surgery, and she'd say, "Will you pray for me? Put me on your prayer list." And I did, and I'd pray for her. I mean, she was just so sweet. But she had been through, her husband had passed away 10 years before, and she had never worked a day in her life, and had 1 daughter and 3 grandsons who were triplets. And so she was struggling, you know, having to be on her feet in a convenience store clerk, as a convenience store clerk. And then she had the, you know, so one of the grandsons, one of the triplet boys, works for a plant around here and makes really good money. And he's married and has children of his own, her great-grandchildren. And so I don't know why. I never asked, and I don't know why they didn't try to, like, the grandsons or the daughter, or, you know, to keep this property in the family. I just think it's, I don't know, I don't know why. It just hurt my soul, you know, the memories that they made, you know. So, and I gave it away just then. So anyhow, we move out here, everything's done, got the countertops in. My son, who paints, painted the cabinets. They were a natural wood, and I liked white. I wanted it white, which, you know, so he painted them white. We got the painting done. We got the granite countertops put in. It was an old 60s style counter, I believe. I'm not sure, and it was a green color, I think. And we had the roof put on, and we did the painting in the living room here. So we were looking for a church, and we were praying, said, "Lord, lead us to the right church that you want us to attend and fellowship it with others. What church do you want us to be at?" We visited several churches, but before we settled on a church, that's another story. Before we settled on a church, our neighbors, Bill and Kay, they're my parents' age. They are in their late 70s, I believe. And they attend, like, almost in walking distance, a little Baptist church up here, Long Creek Baptist Church. And it's down to about 15 members. And they're mostly elderly people. Well, so we decided, they said, "Well, come visit our church." And we said, okay, we would. And we are so blessed to have neighbors that love the Lord. And it was just so sweet. We moved in. Miss Kay brought over a pecan pie. I'm sorry, I say pecan. Some people say pecan. My sister says a pecan is what you pee in, but a pecan is a pecan. So I've always said pecan. So anyhow, she brought over a pecan pie when we moved in, and I'm going around my elbow, and I don't want to lose the point. We go to church with them. We walk into the vestibule area before you enter the sanctuary, and Miss Joyce walks around the corner. And I said, "Oh, this is getting long, this video. I don't want to lose people's attention. So, Lord." So I said, "Miss Joyce, what are you doing here?" She says, "What are you doing?" She says, "I live out here. What are you doing here?" I said, "Well, my husband and I, we just bought us," I'm all happy. "My husband and I, we just bought us a home, and our neighbors, Bill and Kay," who I just assumed she knew because she's going to their church. I said, "They invited us to church." And she looked at me, short little woman, and she said, "You bought my house." You're talking about confused. I didn't know whether to say I'm sorry. I didn't know whether to say thank you. I didn't know what to say. I was just lost my voice. And my husband, bless him, Lord bless him, right on time jumped in and said, "Well, Miss Joyce, would you like to come and see what we've done to the house?" And when he did, her face just lit up, and she said, "Yes, I would." And I said, "Oh, wow." And I said, "Yes, Miss Joyce, we would love to have you." So all through the service, I couldn't even concentrate on what the pastor was saying or preaching. All I'm thinking is, oh my goodness, you know, I just didn't want her heart to be broken that someone else has got her home and all the memories. So she comes in and she walks in the kitchen and she started crying. Oh, I don't need to cry. She started crying, tears rolling down her face. She said that she had always wanted white cabinets. And she smiled real big and she said, and before I pass away, I get to see my cabinets. The cabinets are painted white, the way I always wanted them when they lived in this house. And they have made so many memories here. Two country, hard-working, God-fearing people. And that was like the total package confirmation that God put us here. And for whatever reason, and it all worked out for good. And Miss Joyce was happy, and she went home to be with the Lord 7 months after we moved in. So it gives me chills. I just have to tell that story. Miss Joyce, I can't wait to meet you in heaven, because I tell you what, I am no green thumb, and this is a beautiful place. And I just want it to be, enjoyed and shared by family. And I told her she was more than welcome to come and sit with me and visit. She never did. Her health started going down, and she got leukemia, and they took her to Chapel Hill, and she was up there for a while. And Miss Kay was all upset about it and would have me pray and asking me to pray. So anyhow, that's where we're here. Well, then once we moved here, that's when the depression set in 2017. And then it got worse with anxiety in 2018. So this video is 20 minutes long, so I'll try to next week pop in what happened after we moved in. I'm trying to get you up to where I am now. So I love you guys. Be blessed. Have an abundantly blessed weekend, and know that God is still on the throne, and He's still in control. And He's got this. He's got the pandemic. He's got the spiritual, political unrest. He's got it. I'm not worried. And the Bible says He will keep him, talking about us, or the person that reads the Bible, the person that follows Jesus. He will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on Him, on Jesus. I have really been, since the pandemic started and things started shutting down here March 13th. And we were entered phase 1. And for 2 weeks, and ever since then, I've just been digging in the Word and just refreshing my soul to be prepared for whatever it is that He has called me and my husband to do in these last days, in this new era, whatever that may be. So I love y'all. Y'all come back now to the Hudson Homestead. Have a blessed weekend. Love y'all. Well, I have to video you since this is your Christmas present from me. Merry Christmas. Are you happy? So tell me a little about the scope again.
It's a Bausch & Lomb.
Uh-huh.
They haven't made this scope since the 80s. And, 92, I think, was the latest scope.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then after that, it became, they took it over by another company. But that's a Bausch & Lomb. Yeah.
That's nice.
Bausch & Lomb.
Real sleek.
Yeah, it's an old scope, and it's in mint shape. It's got a couple of scuffs right here, but I mean, it's in mint shape.
It still looks nice,
It's in great
yeah.
shape, yep. Really, really good.
Well, I'm glad you like it. And what gun is this going on?
There's a Bausch & Lomb 4000 Elite scope.
And what's it going on?
It goes on a rifle.
I mean, what's the rifle you got?
I haven't got the rifle yet.
I thought you had the 80s rifle.
Oh, I do got an 80s
Well,
rifle. 30-06.
Well, tell me about it.
That's 30-06, but I'm not going to put the scope on it.
Oh, you're not?
Put the scope on I'm going to put it on a bolt action rifle.
Oh.
I think I want a long range rifle. Bolt action. And I think it'll be perfect.
All right.
That's nice.
That is
very
nice. Well, Merry Christmas.
Very nice scope. Thank you.
I like it. Here is our egg roll in a bowl, plated up. That's your ground beef, your cabbage, rice. And so if you want the recipe, let me know. I'll put it in in the description box of the next video.
What are you making out of YouTube?
I am for my channel.